welcome back to Dive In Deep, Dirty Water Boys. You're truly Dirty Water Don, and to my left.
How you doing? Ganimal here.
And who do we have with us today? You look familiar. Yes. You look familiar.
Yeah, Frankie Edgar and Roger Matthews.
The Tramp.
The Tramp.
Nice.
The Tramp.
By the way, it's AK, The Tramp.
The Tramp. The girlfriend doesn't like that name, but...
How does, not to interrupt the introductions, how does one get that nickname?
This guy.
Just Champing the Tramp. It rhymed. Sounded good.
I don't remember. Do you remember some of the other selections? Because we did have a few, and I was like, that one does rhyme. And then I realized I'm going to be the Tramp, and I'll be the Tramp forever.
There could be worse things to be called.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're a father or two and they start watching shit, you don't really want to be known as the Tramp, but...
They watched Lady and the Tramp, right?
We'll cross
Lady
that
and the Tramp,
bridge.
Was that guy a bad guy?
It's not like you're on OnlyFans called The Tramp.
Yeah.
You're all right.
I'm gonna reference that when I have to explain it to my kids. That was solid, Frankie. That was solid.
Bring the VHS tape out.
That was solid.
Completely change the subject. What's a VHS?
Until Disney remakes it, then it's gonna be something horrible, you know.
Oh, for sure.
VHS, man.
I do like the good remakes.
I know. VHS. Remember watching Pee Wee Herman on VHS?
Oh, he just died.
That's why I said it. R.I.P. Pee Wee Herman. Big childhood influence.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how old he was. He was like 70.
Well, he taught me how to masturbate in movie theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Amen.
Yeah, him and Blow, though.
Is it cool to do it here now or no?
Yeah. Crank one out, Tramp. You got this. Earn that name.
R.I.P. Pee Wee Herman.
So,
maybe the aliens took him.
Oh, did you see that Mark?
Aliens.
Mark from Blink-182?
Aliens, there ain't aliens.
I feel like when the government is saying stuff exists, it doesn't exist. How do you guys feel about that?
I trust nothing the government tells me.
Nothing.
Not a single word.
Zero.
I believe they exist, but I believe they're just saying this stuff now to
it's some sort of
hide some stuff. But
absolutely.
What the fuck do I know?
It's a distraction of sorts.
I don't trust taxes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I refuse to pay them. You know?
Speed limits bullshit.
Well, half the world needs that.
You think we make it to 2024? We've got some friends that say we're not even getting there, or we're going to get there, but no, that's one
crazy friend.
Yeah, he's a good dude, but he's a little nuts. But he thinks we're going to enter into a different dimension. We're going to be in 5D.
We already have when they did that thing in England, or I mean the UK, where they had the Parcon collider. Or I didn't say that right.
Particle
collider, and when it hit. They say we went from one dimension to another.
Oh, really?
And, like things shifted.
For real?
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things?
That sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
So
right?
when did this happen? Because out of nowhere, we became on television.
Years ago, right before all this like crazy shit like started to happen in like...
I thought they happened like Thor 2 or something.
Something like that.
Marvel covered that. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
I trust nothing they tell me. I take all with a grain of salt, and I don't watch any news.
Exactly.
I don't believe any
Totally.
of it. We were watching the one thing the other day about the Ukraine, about a synagogue being bombed. And I'm watching, the guy's like, now watch the woman with the concrete.
Yes.
She has like 6 of them stacked with one arm.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. I'm like, I would hire her. She seems really efficient.
Back when the Ukraine thing first broke out, too, you see some of the footage where the tanks flipped over like perfect. They're completely untouched. They look like they're made out of cardboard. Yeah. And the one guy was holding like the assault weapon that was definitely made out of like wood or something.
Well, in World War II, we had an entire team of fake tanks they made.
Yeah, but they blew up this like big tank-looking things out of...
They were made out of like stockings and styrofoam and
part of some propaganda.
So we brought in during the war effort. We brought in a whole team of painters and sculptors.
Yep.
Sent them to the war front, and they made fake infantry and fake tanks.
Yeah.
Just to make it look like
we had hundreds.
Yeah.
And
so
hundreds
from
of
the
tanks.
air flying over, they see this big infantry, but it's not.
Meanwhile,
so they go the other way, and then they get ambushed.
Everything's a facade.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, but maybe everything. I don't know.
Kind of like the Winter Soldier. Back in
I didn't see that.
World War I, where they went to Sweden, and this guy, he did like guerrilla warfare back then, and he used to like put these like big meals out in the ice, and then like cut some holes, so like all these starving soldiers would come down and see like pig roasting in the middle of the thing, and they go down, they all fall through the ice and die.
Oh wow, that's
like weird shit like that. But
at least fucking feed them, then kill them.
Yeah, right. Good.
Or trap them on a full stomach. Them.
All kinds of weird shit with like the North Pole now. Like you're not allowed to go there. And Admiral Byrd, supposedly when he was there and flew over with his squadron, wrote a report that he flew into it, and it's like a paradise world in there. And You know,
Oh,
it's
man.
yeah.
It
I don't
turned
know.
into a
I'm
jungle oasis.
Starting to sound like Jesse now a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, we need to get, we need
I
to get
just
that
said I
fuck you
heard
money.
it. I didn't say I believe it, but
But
listen,
some of the things you hear, you're like,
I'm starting to get
yeah,
to that point. Yeah.
All these conspiracies seem to be coming true.
They
The
all
only,
can't
the only
be
way to
wrong.
find out is to get that fuck you money and
No,
get there.
no. If you see it on The Simpsons, then it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've lost all faith in everything like that when I heard a guy who was all fucked up on drugs. He's like, don't talk in front of the pigeons. Right? And I'm like, okay, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
another fucking rip. Whatever you say, pal. But then you look into it, there was a patent in the 40s and 50s for recording devices in pigeons.
Yeah.
So why would you have a patent
Mike
if you weren't
Tyson will tell
making
you
money
that's
on it?
bullshit.
I believe it.
Well,
Listen.
Mike Tyson, he's flipping.
He'll tell you that's bullshit.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Pigeons are real.
They are. I'm not saying pigeons aren't real.
No, that's it.
You heard it here first.
So
Pigeons aren't
stupid.
real.
There's some people's like stars aren't real.
Stars.
Stars and the moon.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah,
I've heard the
different
moon being
theories that
fake.
we live under this dome and we really can't get
Yeah,
through it.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Bryce Mitchell.
Nah. But another MMA guy.
That's gravity that doesn't exist. It's Bryce Mitchell's things, right?
Gravity definitely
density.
exists.
Yes, density. It's density.
He says it's things that are dense. Like, why does this water bottle fall faster than this hat?
it
It's because
doesn't,
it's
bro.
more
It
dense.
doesn't. This guy's. It doesn't.
Wait,
You know that things fall
I'm
the same
I'm saying
rate.
Bryce Mitchell says that.
They have the same falling rate of
I didn't-
gravity.
I didn't
Yeah.
say that. I'm saying that's what Bryce Mitchell says. My God, bro.
I gotta protect this guy. 'Cause he
This
goes
guy's
off
so-
on
I
some
see
shit
why you call him the
sometimes.
Tramp now. I see
You know
why you
what
call him
I'm
the
saying?
Tramp. I get it.
Let me reel this back in. So Frankie Edgar, I'm glad to have you. So what are you best known for?
Oh man, making fun of Roger, I think is what I'm
Is that a
known
paying
for.
days.
Is that a paying
lately.
gig?
It is a very low paying gig.
It's strictly volunteer at this point.
You guys know the struggle. You're podcasters.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And the hardest part I think we've had is we've had so many big names. They're like, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Awesome. Then you're like, then you get all jacked up, like, fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, when do you want to come?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can make Thursday. Then Wednesday, like,
Yeah.
can't make Thursday. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
And then around like the 15th time, you're like,
Didn't we do that to them?
That's you,
Yeah.
Joey.
No,
That's
yeah.
you, Joey
Yeah,
Diaz.
three times.
I'm talking to you, Joey Diaz.
yeah, thanks, Joey Diaz. You
Yeah.
said you were coming.
Wait. That happened. Joey Diaz said that to you guys?
He told a friend of
He was
ours,
supposed to-
Annalise.
he
He
was
called
supposed to be our
us and he was
first
10
guest.
minutes away. He's like, guys, I'm 10 minutes away. I'll be in this fucking traffic. And we waited an hour and a half and he never showed up.
But hey, in his defense, that's just Joey Diaz.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Uncle
Brennan,
Joey, yeah.
Brennan Schaub said the same
And you're
thing.
not mad at him. You're not mad at
Yeah.
him.
We weren't
They
mad at
tell you
all.
they're going to show up, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
Yep.
And then how do you say,
It's so funny.
When are you
that
coming, guys?
you
But
said
when he
Joey
does end up
Diaz,
coming one day,
Yeah,
at either
hey.
podcast,
Yeah.
it's going to be a
we
fucking trip.
love him. We
Absolutely.
love him. But I saw like a comedy skit he did where he said, I'm a 50-50 guy. You got a 50% chance of me showing up. You know what I mean?
He's
So,
true.
Yeah.
I had the same odds. I used to never show up on time. Now I'm getting a little better at my age.
Five
I
kids
think-
will do that.
I think now I just want to get out of the house.
Yeah,
So now I'm
so
like, I gotta go. I gotta
Yeah,
get
yeah.
2 hours earlier, you're late.
Exactly.
And I show up. So you fought UFC.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
Little
bit.
bit,
How'd
little
that
bit.
work out for you?
It was a success.
Pretty
It was a
good, pretty
success,
good.
I'd
All right,
say.
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretend the listeners we do have no idea about fighting.
Yeah, they should probably watch some fights.
Just Google me.
Yeah. You probably watch some fights. You're
Don't
missing
be
out on
scared
some
to
good
Google.
They're
entertainment.
definitely missing out.
You know?
They missed out this Friday, Saturday, past Saturday.
Yeah,
Oh,
phenomenal
it's
card.
that
Great
dude.
card.
Hell yeah.
I
And
didn't
boxing
watch it.
too.
I didn't watch it.
Crawford
man, that
put
was-
a clinic on
Dude,
him.
he whooped him. I'm not,
It must have been Eminem. It had to be Eminem.
he walked out with him, right?
If he walked me out,
Yeah.
I'd whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah.
You see,
Well, you know,
there's
like, there's an Eminem curse in MMA, sort of. People that walk out to Eminem, I think historically don't do so well.
Really?
That's what.
It's because their
Mom's
knees are
sp-
weak and their arms are heavy?
They ate mom spaghetti before.
Dude,
Yeah.
nailed that one.
Thank you.
Nailed that one.
The more kids you get, the better the dad
Yeah,
jokes
yeah,
become.
yeah.
yes, yes.
You see,
Kinds of happens.
there's a doctor out there. I saw him on one of the social media saying that Spence, they said that he looked before he even started the fight like he might have some sort of cognitive damage to his brain
From what? What is it?
from
Cutting
prior
weight?
fights.
Headbutting walls.
Prior fights.
Oh, because I seen Stephen A. Smith say like, "Oh, he should retire." I'm like, bro, just shut your fucking mouth. But I mean, if that's the case, someone with some head injuries, maybe.
He did.
But
I mean,
Stephen A.
listen,
Smith always runs his
Oh,
mouth
yeah,
so-
always.
about fighters. Like, bro, stick to ball players.
That's a wheelhouse he's not really
No.
should be talking about.
yeah,
I agree
nah.
with that.
Especially about telling someone to retire. Come on, guys, one loss.
Dirty
To
Water
the
Don here
best
has no
guy in the
idea what we're
world.
talking about. He has
I have no idea what you're
no
talking about. I'm like,
zero
all
zero
right.
sports.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I'm not into anything but MMA. Not even boxing. I just happened to watch that with Frankie. But
I've never
MMA,
watched
that's
Super
it.
Bowl.
I can watch football and kind of like enjoy it because it's a man sport. That's it. Baseball, basketball, soccer, forget it.
I like the action.
I
You
can't
like
watch
cricket?
it.
You a cricket man?
Hell no. What is cricket? No.
Badminton?
That's baseball
No,
with a
good.
flat ball.
Yeah,
With like a
exactly.
2x4.
What's the new tennis shit everybody's doing now?
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Fastest growing sport in America.
I drive
with
up
that.
Route 35 through all the rich towns, Lavalette, Ortley, and everything. All the people are out there playing that now. They just basically converted a tennis court into a pickleball court.
Yeah, because you play with a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
They're also
I mean, you can play any sport with beer in your hand.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can play pretty.
orthopedists are
Efficiently.
very happy pickleball's taking off.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot of
right.
injuries.
Even my physical therapist says the same thing.
Yep. They're
Really?
making so much
'Cause-
money
because
right now.
older people can
People
play
get
this.
hurt, yeah.
And
Hips,
they're getting hurt all the
knees,
time. Yeah.
Elbows.
Yep.
Done.
I'm in the wrong business.
Roger should stay away
yeah.
from pickleball.
See? That's what he does. At least it wasn't a gay joke. At least it wasn't a gay joke. Make that
Stepping it
gay.
up. Stepping it up.
Oh gosh, come on, Raj.
So back to I told you about the interview you two. You guys were all over the place.
So diving is like you guys' side thing. You're a union guy by trade.
Yeah, we both
Yeah.
union.
I'm a union guy too.
So we're local 1556.
I'm a Teamster dude over here. Yep, 798.
I was local 9 union back in the day before plumbing, or before fighting. I was a plumber.
I am a certified patty diver though. However,
I'm a Nowie guy.
yeah.
I make fun of all scuba divers.
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way.
You were telling me.
I was
That's
telling
great.
you, all scuba diving to me is 1 degree above LARPing.
That's fucking
So
amazing.
LARPing, those who don't know, it's live action role playing.
Yeah.
It's when all those virgins go in the park
Yep.
and they fight each other with foam
With
swords.
sticks.
right.
Yeah.
So I think those guys are just 1
Yes.
degree below scuba
I
divers.
just want to make
I
one
love
thing
that
clear.
theory, but why is it? Because you're like the highest level of diver
No,
you can
because
be?
they dress up in these outfits with these fins on,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they have these little helmets, and it makes me chuckle.
Who is it? I'm sure you guys are probably familiar since you're in, that's what you do. But I did watch a guy for a while who started out just removing cars from rivers and shit, and then he started diving on bodies. He became hugely
That's Doug
successful,
Bishop. He's a friend
and then
of
he
ours.
got caught for like kid touching or some shit.
Doug Bishop?
Oh shit!
He's awesome.
Wait a minute, he's not a friend of yours.
No, that's not Doug. That's
No.
not Doug. Remember Doug's
No,
partner.
This guy, I'll think of the name of it. But I used to watch him all the time, and now his partner is kind of running it.
That's my buddy.
that's
He
Doug.
was just here the
Yeah,
other day.
So
Partner, yeah,
That's the partner.
good
we
dude.
met
yeah.
the partner.
Did the partner own a tow truck business for a while, and then he went full time?
I don't know the whole backstory.
Okay.
We recently met him. We did a dive.
This guy started finding dead bodies like crazy, and
Yeah.
once he found
was
his
them.
first one, which was by accident, he was pulling. His whole thing was we were cleaning up the rivers. We were
Yeah,
moving.
yeah.
He pulled a car out, like a car that had been there since the 70s, and there was a body in it. And once that video went viral, that became his focus, and he started solving all these unsolved crimes, missing people.
We met his partner.
He probably pulled out half a dozen
it was
bodies out of rivers in cars and started solving, and it became
It was like
it
over the
was a more
Midwest.
passionate story than I'm junk removal dude and I'm cleaning up rivers.
So
and
his partner's Doug Bishop. He
Yes.
came here with the Diesel Brothers.
Yep,
When
okay.
we did the thing in the East River.
okay,
He's the United Search Corp.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
what he'll do now. He does
That's the new one.
I think
bottom
diving with a purpose or something like that was the name of
I
this
think
guy's
that was
thing.
the original. I think
Yeah.
you're right. The
Okay.
head guy
But he got caught for some shit from like 20, like his niece or something said.
doesn't make it
was
right no
something
matter how
crazy.
old it is.
Yeah, yep.
Wrong
Agreed.
is wrong.
Let me get a good sponsor going right here. There you go.
Boom.
Bang.
There you go.
Pressure Donkeys. And I think Brunt Workwear. He was a really nice guy, Doug. Doug was a really good diver. For our diving's different. Our diving is hard hat diving.
Okay.
And we wear the heavy metal helmets, and basically we're like the men's man of the industry. We're not LARPers.
Yeah.
We wear work boots and coveralls and a wetsuit. We
Yep.
jump in and we build bridges and get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
We build dams, shit husbandry, repair piers, do underwater welding,
Working shit.
working sewers.
There's a
Clear
documentary I watched about a deep water diver. They go down in the Bells, and this guy was working on some oil rig scaffolding underwater, and he became detached, and his air supply ran out.
Yep.
But he found in the dark, in complete darkness, because once you're untethered,
Yep.
your light goes out and everything. He was in complete darkness. Immediately, the water gets, because I guess you're like in a heated suit.
Cowboy.
He found
The structure.
the
and he
structure
climbed
in the
the top
and
of it.
climbed and basically died on top of the structure. They got the ship. The ship basically, the power I guess died on the generators
Yeah,
or whatever
the
died.
tether snapped and they sent an ROV down.
Yeah, but the
They saw
ship
him.
drifted away. It took them like 20 minutes to get it back operational. They went back, sent the ROV down, and found this dude basically dead. Bring him back up the bell and revive. This guy lived. It was
He's still
the
diving today.
craziest story
That's
ever.
why I
Yeah.
kept his hat on too.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
They can revive you if you keep your hat on.
yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So
Bro,
when
it's
we
a great
when we
documentary.
first
I don't
started diving,
remember the name of
Really
it. But
drowned
I think
with a
it's
little bit of water.
one blast
You were
breath or
drinking
one
the
breath.
water.
that might
There's
be,
only a
that
little
sounds
bit
right.
on Netflix.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So they always tell you keep your helmet on.
Yep.
We can get you back to life if your helmet's on. So our buddy of mine, Bobby Ritchie, they call him the Sea Monster. When he teaches someone to dive, that's what he says. keep your helmet on.
Yep.
I don't care what the fuck happens.
Right.
The better chance of me saving you.
Do you have a
helmet's
natural
on.
tendency to want to rip it off?
People do. Yeah, they freak out.
Yep.
They panic. They're claustrophobic. Their mindset is, let me get this shit off me, and I'll get up.
Right.
You know, and then your helmet starts filling with water.
Right.
And then you're like, I need to get this off.
Yeah.
And then you tell yourself, don't breathe.
Yeah.
And your mind says, hold your breath. And then at that moment, it gets to like here, and you're filling up with water. You're taking a breath.
Right.
So
now, how about cave diving? Because that's a whole
stupid.
Nother level.
That's what the cowboy was doing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like going down in the ocean gate to see the Titanic. It's the same shit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What is you guys take
Buddy,
on that?
what's
Plunking. No,
going
it's
on at
called
home? Yeah.
plunking or some
Spelunking, but that's,
Spelunking.
I think that's
Parachuting
on
or
land.
something.
and then there's blumpkins.
That's
That's
Roger
something
goes
different.
up
Let the tramp. Let the tramp take care of that. Yeah.
Then there's blumpkins. Similar of diving, but not a lot of water
Is
involved
that
in that.
parachuting into caves and stuff?
Yeah, you jump into a cave.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That's equally as dumb if you ask me.
100%.
But the whole take on the submarine, I think, was dumb. I think they built it with expired materials.
Oh,
They-
you PlayStation controller.
Well,
Right,
the
or-
controller is like the least of my concerns with that, because if you can get anything to operate a servo, right? Anything can operate a servo. Anything can move a prop or can give power to turn on or turn off to a prop. So the controller is least of my worries. It's the materials that were used. Like you can't get your structural.
But that
at Camper World.
that had been down before.
Yeah,
correct?
but every time
Why did
you
it
dive
fail this time?
Every time you dive, it takes a beating. You talking about
Same as an
putting
airplane,
pressure,
though.
a lot
An
of
airplane
pressure.
does
yeah,
too,
but
right?
but airplanes have preventative maintenance. They have a maintenance log say, okay, after you did 10 landings, change the tires.
Right.
You
Now,
did
they were
20
going-
landings, change the injector.
Apparently,
thing
the
on.
last time they went down, there was issues. They missing 30 minutes of contact with us up top, and then they came back. And they
You're the
brought 'em
comms
back.
guy, right? That's what you do, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not comms, yeah.
So they say, I believe this time, I think the Titanic's roughly 12,000 feet. They lost comms at like 3,500 feet. So it really was only like a quarter of the way
Yeah,
there.
they weren't
and
even halfway
Yeah,
down.
they got detached completely.
Yeah.
And they realized.
Did they go
we done
looking
fucked
for
up.
him right away?
So this is the fucked up thing. I called a friend of mine when I saw what happened. Now he knows them. And he goes, that thing's long gone, brother. That imploded.
They
right?
say the Navy knew it was gone
Sunday-
immediately.
My
Sunday
buddy knew
afternoon
the
they knew.
day I
Yeah.
called him. He knew Sunday. And then they told us like what, Wednesday?
Yeah,
No,
don't they
like
have
Thursday or
listening
Friday,
devices?
yeah.
Thursday, yeah.
in
They
the
know when a
ocean
fucking
that
whale
hurt?
queeps.
Right.
Yeah.
They know.
But they wanted the news to take over this whole story for a week.
I'm telling you, man. That's why I will not watch the news anymore.
Of
I mean,
course,
social
of
media, I
course.
guess, is a version of the news, but you can
Just
kind
like this alien shit.
you can kind of
Sorry,
pick and
Ron.
choose at least.
Right? That's just like this alien
Yep,
shit.
Yep. It's
There's
crazy.
something else going on.
I'd
You know
be
that?
more surprised if there was nothing going on than aliens.
Yeah.
My whole thing is
I
that
would
is
be
though,
surprised by it.
the reason I believe it is because the people who are George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell,
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
I
yeah.
trust that are telling the truth of all things they know.
Well, but everything they know
They're-
is just
but they're-
accounts of other people.
But they're
though.
spearheading
Yeah.
this whole thing with the government. So I do believe something's happening, but I do believe the timing of it is.
Well, like,
Yeah,
listen, I can
skewed.
believe because the universe is so vast. I could definitely believe there's other life out there, but like our friend Jesse thinks they walk amongst us. What's he call
Oh,
them?
the lizard people?
Reptilians.
The lizard people, yeah.
They blinked this way, not that way.
No,
Shit.
that's
There was
Men
a
in Black.
video
Why
of
not?
a woman freaking out on an airplane recently.
Yeah.
She sat next to one of them.
They can't
I
find their
don't know,
disposal.
but I
Someone
tell
on
you,
Twitter
that
was like,
motherfucker's
"No,
not
I
real."
want to find this person, blah, blah, blah. And you know, at least on my Twitterverse, looks like it's getting everywhere and supposedly can't find a chick.
How do you lose
Oh, the
somebody?
girl, really?
Yeah.
Now, when you're
Yeah.
on social media and you see the warning for fact checkers,
I click it immediately.
no, you know it takes 3 clicks.
I believe that it's true. Yes, it
It
does.
does.
It
Yeah.
takes 3 clicks.
I thought my
Yeah.
phone was fucked up.
No, it takes
Yes,
3 clicks.
It does.
They
Isn't
show
that
you to
crazy?
click
Are
it,
you
move
sure?
on.
And then I-
One more time.
I'm positive, 3 clicks.
I usually forward it to Frankie because we're fairly like-minded, and it won't let me send it half the time. It's crazy. And then it'll give you a warning if you finally do it. Well, do you sure you want to send this?
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
motherfucker.
I wanna
know.
send it.
But that's why Twitter's
But you
better.
said a dick
Twitter
pic.
lets
That's
you have
totally okay.
everything.
No
True.
questions it. But I just when I see those, I'm like, this is factual.
This has got to be
Click.
good. It's got to be good. Yeah.
Speaking of social media, Don was sitting here before you guys showed up. He's like, I wonder if these guys are going to follow me later.
I didn't say that. I said, I'm not calling him dad. I don't care if he follows me. If you're going to quote me accurate. I did send your friend request, Frankie.
I got you. We'll get it done. No, I don't.
You
friend
said it now.
request, I don't. I mean, I'm like, you can. Anybody
What
can
is this?
follow.
What is this? MySpace?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, who was your top 8?
What does that mean?
He's
MySpace.
the Tramp. We know who his top 8 were.
Yeah, yeah.
All female.
Yeah. Wait, is this MySpace?
Tom.
Or my oh shit.
Tom
This
was
is
my
back
number
in the
one.
day. Tom.
That was everybody's first friend,
Yeah.
Tom, right?
I
On
remember.
MySpace?
I made a whole little page from MySpace.
I did. Listen,
When
back
I
in
first
the day
started
when I
fighting.
was a single man, I remember I grew up with Tim Sylvia. I went out to Ohio to watch him fight, and I stayed at some girl's house. It was
Wait, he fought in Columbus?
I forget. I can't remember. I think it was Columbus. might have been.
UFC fought.
Who did he fight? Was it the brothers? I think he fought. Didn't he
Nogueira?
fight Nogueira? I think it was Nogueira. But anyway, I used MySpace. I was like, man, I got to get a hotel. I didn't make shit for money back then. I was like, I got to get a hotel. I got to buy air. So I started fucking searching girls in Ohio. I found some fucking hot chick that was like, you can stay with me. I stayed out there the whole weekend.
Wow.
My buddy did that in Texas.
My buddy bailed on me from Maine that was supposed to go with me. Yeah, fuck you, Phil. No, he's one of my good friends. I love Phil. But
Hey, Phil,
he bailed on me the night before, and I bought his ticket. He was supposed to pay me out there, so I had an extra ticket. I took this chick with me, and I stayed at her place the whole time. It was
now the Tramp's making sense.
speaking
Yeah,
of-
yeah,
speaking
there
of
you go.
friends,
See?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I pegged him right.
Yeah.
speaking of friends,
She might have
how
too.
did you guys meet?
You don't get too many pegging jokes.
I
You
was
don't.
I was a fan and just annoyed him to death. No, I was always a fan. I was always a Frankie fan. Like I said, I'm not a sports nut at all, but I've always been into UFC since UFC 1, literally. Just always been a fan of it, right? When I moved to Jersey 25 years ago, Frankie, he's from Tom's River. I was living, I'm like, holy fuck, fucking Frankie Edgar's here. So I knew people that knew him. And then, maybe I was here like a few years, and then this guy opens up, I don't want to say an MMA school, although he is opening one soon, but he opened up, it wasn't him, it was his friend Steve, Elite Wrestling, but he would teach MMA classes out of Steve's wrestling camp.
Right.
And I was like, I'm in, I'm there. So we kind of knew each other a little bit through mutual friends. Started training with him for like a summer, and I got into a pretty good motorcycle wreck almost took him out in the wreck. And after that, we just became friends.
Yeah.
Fucked
I
up.
felt bad for him.
Yeah.
I thought he hit his head. I thought he got a little slow from that.
You're being a big brother. I
Yeah.
get it.
Makes sense.
Right.
He pulled over and called the ambulance, then took off, left me on the side of the road.
See
you
it?
know?
No.
That's it.
Hey,
Just
sometimes,
honestly,
sometimes you got warrants, bro. You gotta go.
He was nasty on a street bike, like sitting on it, doing wheelies, 12 o'clock wheelies, and we're going from, one town to the next. I swear he's riding the wheelie the whole time pretty much. So a car, I guess, brakes checks him, and he kind of went to hit the brake, whatever. He slams his head. I dip out of the way. Before I get off my bike and turn around, he's up, lifting his bike up.
Just pressing it.
Yeah.
You
He's
get
up, lifting
open.
his bike up because he was worried about the cops.
No,
Yeah.
100% wrong.
Worried about the cops?
I don't care about cops.
I knew my bike was unrideable because shit was like broken on it. I didn't want to look like a bitch in front of Frankie Edgar.
Well.
So I had
Fair enough.
I had a broken collarbone too, and I picked that
I
thing up.
refuse to cry in front of Frankie.
He turned around because in my head I'm like, as I'm like flipping off the bike, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm gonna fucking wipe Frankie out. Like this is the end of his career, that's all I'm thinking. And I'm just kind of getting to know the guy, but he missed me, thank God, not by much. Wouldn't have been his fault. Turns around, comes back. I had the bike up, and I knew I was hurt. Like I was hurt, but I wasn't gonna. I was like, I'm good.
It was
good.
cat-like reflex.
We actually
I was
called
pretty
your
good.
friend Kurt.
Yeah, my friend. Yeah, my
Kurt
buddy came with his truck.
I helped pick it up, broke collarbone. I got like collarbone like this,
But
and then
that's still impressive. Just 3 people picking up a
and then
motorcycle.
I drove myself to the hospital. He's like, "You good?" I went in my house. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm good." Couple drove, and they're like, "Dude, you got a broken collarbone."
Yeah. I'm like, I'll give you a ride, dude.
You guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a start of a friendship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you didn't crash.
Yeah, no.
Sorry
me
you
too.
did.
Me too.
Hey, I've
Yeah, he's
a bunch
crashed
of
multiple times, this guy.
A lot of times.
Yeah, but you're doing your
I only
stunting.
saw it once.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
I
stunting
ride
is
a
different.
Harley now.
What
and
do you
it's-
have now?
A 2018 Road Glide Harley.
Oh,
yeah,
you stepped up to the old man bike.
I got the old man bike. Well, I got
Ah.
kids now,
I hear you need the bags for the
Different
bottles
world,
and the milk.
different world. I tell this story all the time, so it's kind of old, but you guys probably haven't heard it. This guy literally, he's pretty much emotionless, by the way. He has no empathy at all, but
Zero empathy.
like
He's just super sensitive.
no fear. This dude will scrap with anybody in the street, fights the best guys in the world. Put him on a motorcycle on I-90 fear. You see fear in that dude's eyes, and I love it. I love
yeah,
it.
but I don't do it often. I don't do it often.
the
So.
funny thing about pavement, it doesn't hit you once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It continues to hit you as it sands your ass off.
Yeah.
Right. It
All
doesn't
right.
get tired either.
No, it keeps going.
Yeah, exactly.
The faster you go, the more you slide.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what do you ride?
I don't. I got rid of it, but I had a CBR way back in the day when he
1,000, 650,
600. I was
He's a little guy.
a little guy, first bike,
All right. You
Didn't,
get
didn't
some a
grow
little
up riding.
bigger.
Didn't really grow up riding, so
All
got
right.
that.
Usually I always recommend get a little bigger so you grow into it, not out of it.
Yeah, but I only had it for a couple years.
All right.
Just wasn't into it that much. And then I won a Harley when I won the Ultimate Fighter show.
They gave you a Harley.
They give you a Harley.
There you go.
Yeah. So I had that for a while, barely rode it, and I just sold it last year. If I move, Jersey's just not the place for it.
I got a
If
question.
I
for
lived
you.
in like Texas or
There's a funny story about that.
Alaska.
A funny story about that bike, though. He's like, I don't want to fucking deal with people. I'm not putting it on Marketplace. Fuck it. I'm just going to go to Harley and whatever they give me. He goes to Harley. They wanted to give him like peanuts for it. I was like, bro, I'll sell it for you.
He autographed it.
That was my question.
I was like,
because it was your bike, did you
I'll
get
sell
even
it
more?
for you. So I put it on Marketplace,
I think so, a little bit.
which is kind of like anonymous. And I put a solid price on it, what it was worth. And the guys that hit me up are guys I know. Actually, he knows them too. But they're like, dude, it's Frankie's bike. Because I posted a picture. And I think Frankie was like in the picture or whatever. And they're like, bro, that's Frankie's bike. So like 3 of buddies of mine bought it, but they wanted him to sign it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
They were going to clear coat it and all this shit. And they're like, bro, we can get like fucking $30,000 for this bike. I don't know if they ever did or not. I have no clue.
I got my money. I got my
I'll
money.
give you $17 for it.
Yeah.
Will you autograph my mug?
Yeah.
All right.
Foreheads too.
Perfect.
I only autograph my titties. That's how I operate. What was your question?
That I said,
Yeah.
did he get more money for the bike
Right.
because it was his bike?
Don't yell at me. I hate to say this, but my headphones are a little loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right. I hate to
I
say
think
it.
the adrenaline.
Fuck you, you were right. I hate working with my brother.
So I grew up in Maine. Oh, someone just, I guess he adjusted the volume. But I grew up in Maine.
How is it out in Maine?
Little tiny town. It's great. It's great if you're into outdoorsy shit. But little tiny town. And back in high school, people, I don't know how it started, how it became a thing, but, you know, seafood industry is huge. So
wait, you don't know how the seafood industry became huge?
No. Let me finish.
That I know.
Let me finish.
You know.
The seafood industry has always been huge. But when I was in high school, like freshman in high school, someone discovered that sea urchins, the eggs, the roe, was like a delicacy in Japan. And they started selling, I think probably somebody pulled it up in a lobster trap and cracked it open. It was like, we could sell this to, because they'll eat an old boot if you soak it in the ocean long enough, right? So people, like my friends started getting certified to dive. And guys that already worked on fishing boats, because it's like a protected industry. If you're not in the industry, which my family wasn't, you're not welcome. You know what I mean? So people started getting the driver's license, getting PADI certified or whatever, and started diving on sea urchins. And bro, I had friends, high school friends, like, you know, sophomore in high school, making like $4,000 in a weekend.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Good money.
fuck it. I was like, maybe they'll give me a pass because I'm friends. I went out and got PADI certified, which you'll probably laugh at. Bought all the dive gear and all the shit, and I think I went once because it's hard to go if you're not. They don't want you.
If you're not welcome, it's hard to get into it.
So,
I got all my dive stuff off of Marketplace.
Did you?
I had to get certified as scuba was in class for hard hat, and I had no scuba stuff. So I go on Marketplace, I type in scuba gear, and there was this gay guy. His boyfriend ran the Scuba Pro Shop and gave him the best of everything to get him into it with him so they had a hobby together, right? So I go meet him. The guy never even put it on. They broke up.
Oh, shit.
So he had a brand new, I don't know the name of the brand of the bag, but it was loaded with the top of the line shit.
No shit.
$100.
He must have been scorned.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
He was talking so much shit about his partner. Oh my god,
that's crazy.
I'm like, that's horrible.
Like literally everything, regulators, the whole nine.
Everything.
Well, today, see, when you had to learn your tables and all that shit. You know how much you had to come up to decompress. Like I think my open water dive was 100 feet, but you had to know like, oh, you come up, you know, so you don't get the bends. Obviously, now everything's digital, right? You don't have
watch.
You don't have to learn shit.
Well, for us, he needs to know it. Well, we all know it, but we run the Navy dive tables. So we don't have the watches. We have something called a pneumofathometer that tells you he knows where I am on the table.
Gotcha.
And he'll see, I go, for example, if you're at 60 feet, it's for 60 minutes. So 60 for 60. Now, if I go over that time, I have to do it in water deco, and he'll know that, and he'll stop me at 20 feet, and I got to hang there for 10 or 15 minutes.
But when we're out in the East River and we're diving off a small little 22-foot skiff boat,
current ripping,
there's
right?
no pneumos, there's no shit.
Yeah.
He's coming up. Went from bottom to top in about 6 seconds.
No, it was less. It was 2 seconds. I went from 60 feet to 0 in 2 seconds.
But because you weren't down there that long, it wasn't dangerous.
The current went from slack tide, nothing, to 7 knots. Like that.
Oh, wow.
I went to Hackensack Medical. By the way, don't even bring your dog there.
Really?
Went to Hackensack Medical. They misdiagnosed me, and they sent me on my way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a nitrogen bubble in my left lung. I'm fucking
because
collapsing.
you came up too
I came up
fast.
too fast.
Because there was no other option.
There's no other option.
Wow.
So I collapsed outside their place. My dad, thanks, Dad, called 911 in front of the hospital. Like, they won't serve my
outside
son.
the emergency doors.
What do we do?
911.
Wow.
Because I
Did
went
you
in
know
there,
immediately on ascending you had to get
I knew on the way home.
Yep.
We were driving home, and I felt like dog shit. I thought maybe because I was on my phone on the boat, and I don't want to sound like a bitch and be like, oh, I'm nauseous because of my cell phone. So then we went home. I laid down. I still felt like dog shit. And the next day, I went to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And my dad called the 911 like they won't serve him. I went there. I know the deal. I know I need to go in a decompression chamber.
Yep.
So I know I can't wear certain clothes. So I go with a zip-up hoodie because the shirt has to come off and with sweatpants on. So I walked in covered in tattoos, and I'm like, I'm in excruciating pain. I need to decompression chamber. And they're like, we're not giving you drugs.
You knew that they had one there?
No, I needed to go to Jacoby in
Oh,
New
okay,
York.
gotcha.
But that's the closest hospital.
Gotcha.
So they can get me to Jacoby.
Life flight or ambulance?
They ambulance.
Okay.
They rushed me there at 11:30 at night. Once my father caused the ruckus, and then one of my dive partners, Jonathan Santiago, a.k.a. the legend, thank you, legend, saved my life. He went there. He's a dive medic, and he knew what to do.
Yeah.
He yelled at the doctors till they took care of me.
Wow.
And they thought I just wanted drugs.
Yeah.
They looked at me like I wanted drugs.
And apparently, if a police officer calls for an ambulance for you, or if you're at a hospital and they want to transfer you for emergency reasons to another hospital,
It's free.
It's free ride.
Get out.
But if you call them from get-go,
No
they're going to
shit.
charge you a shit ton of money.
Jeez.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
So
Wish
I
you
went
guys
to
had told me
Jacoby.
that back when I was stunting motorcycles.
It's good. Yeah, don't
handy.
have the cops call.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
call. So I went to Jacoby. I did 6 hours in the chamber. I felt I had instant relief in minute 13 or 14.
Wow.
Wow.
And all the pain went away. I did 6 hours, came out, felt like a new man.
That's awesome.
It sucked though.
What's it,
Damn.
super saturated with oxygen? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
you're in an oxygen-enriched environment, and you're under pressure, and then you're breathing pure oxygen.
Yeah.
So before
You
it
probably
happened,
couldn't even life flight it, right? Because you can't go up, right?
No, you can't go up.
Yeah.
But they keep you low for those kind of
Yeah,
flights.
true,
right.
true. Yeah.
But I was a saturated diver because we were diving every day, 60, 80 feet every day for the last month and a half.
yeah,
So before that accident ever happened, I was already saturated.
gotcha.
So if it happened just as a fluke,
Right.
one day I would have been fine.
Wow.
You know, chances of something happening would have been real
Right.
small. But because I was so saturated that I was just fucked from the
That
get-go.
was Hackensack
Wow.
Hospital you went to?
Yeah, don't go there.
Frankie's got, I'm telling you, some of these city hospitals I would never go to. He's got a good story about post-fight because they just, if you have any kind of injury at all, they send you, what is it, Bellevue,
Larry
right?
Moss?
Bellevue?
Bellevue
New York.
in
New York.
Manhattan.
He's got a good story
Oh,
about
yeah.
that place,
Yeah.
man.
Oh man, there was two of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So what
It was
happened?
like straight crack. I was hoping he'd tell the story, but
Well, I mean,
He's like,
I,
yeah,
I'm
straight
trying to-
crackheads
these
in
are
there.
after fights that didn't really go great, so you know the memory's not great.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I mean, we're walking in. It was during COVID, kind of. I think, right? Yeah, it had to be during COVID. Like there had to be like 8 fucking people handcuffed to beds with like guards standing next to them.
We had that in my hospital
yeah,
too.
yeah, just everybody starting shit. I'm like, my box coach here. I'm like, some dude was talking shit. I'm like, bro, let me know if something's coming on behind me. I can't see. I'm hurting. But yeah, there was dude was trying to dude got caught drinking, right?
He was
drinking
saying,
alcohol.
yeah.
He was drinking alcohol. Like, sir, you can't drink in here. He's like, I'm trying to get fucked up.
Wait, you can't drink in the hospital?
Nah.
Is that a real rule?
Probably
In the
any
emergency room,
substances,
yeah.
That's odd.
No drug use.
I've never seen a sign
Only
saying
they
no
can give
alcohol.
you the drugs.
yeah,
You can't take your own.
You
Vicodin
can't
in
even
there,
bring
but they
your
give you
own
one.
drugs.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then last time I
It's
had
like going to
get
the concert with your own alcohol. You
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah,
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
I boof it.
It's Roger.
I had the
loves doing
Secret
that.
Service take a fucking brand new vape pen from me at Madison Square Garden in 2019. November fight.
Really?
So I was sitting in the VIP and Trump was there at the fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And they said that we're in an area where he might come through and stuff like that and hang out. So we were VIP.
Yeah.
So my brother and I we went through Secret Service and they patted me down and shit and they took it out of my pocket. They're like, "We can't bring this in here." I'm
Really?
like, "It's brand new. Like, it's a vape." Like,
There's fucking weed in that.
They're like, "You
Yeah.
can't bring that in here. Like, you can take it back to the car if you want." And
I
come
think
back.
it-
And I look
20
at-
blocks
I look
away.
at my brother.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Throw it the fuck in
Let
the
him
car."
have it.
Yeah.
We're not missing this fight or anything.
Did he walk through?
He was like 6 feet from me.
No, no
Yeah.
shit. Wow.
Did he yell at him?
The Secret Service.
Trump, I love
the
you.
Secret Service when they were on breaks, shift change, they came in our area and they ate and stuff. But I was hanging out with Izzy. It was
Oh, yeah,
before he
yeah.
was like went real big.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
I was talking to him for like a half hour.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool dude.
He's
Yeah.
a good dude.
Yeah,
I just want to say Secret Services are assholes.
yeah, they are. I saw The Rock. He was there. Action Bronson.
Hey,
was
Wait,
when
there.
you
that
gonna
was
thumb
when
Russell
That was when Masvidal fought
Nate
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah,
awesome.
I was there for
Great.
that
Yeah.
one. too.
BMF originally.
Yeah.
He just gave up that
Yep.
belt. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took my fucking vape Secret Service. I'm coming for that.
Feds, bro. Come on.
Remember when they came to the dock?
Yeah. So
Oh.
so we're working Pier 11, is it?
Yeah, working
And-
10 to 5.
Yeah, at night, overnights. And
Love that
we're
shift.
coming home on like a Thursday morning, and I'm like real fucked up in the front seat, passenger seat, and he slams
Literally, he was fucked up.
he slams on the brakes and pulls over on Route 7, right underneath like the 1 and 9 and Route 7 over there.
In Jersey City.
And he hops out. I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? Hops back in, opens back seat, and throws a flak jacket and like a belt
Get out of here.
Full
Coast Guard
bulletproof
on it, US
vest.
Coast Guard.
With the holster, everything.
Everything but the gun was
I was
there.
going to say, handgun too?
No handgun.
That
gun,
might be a felony.
everything
if you
else.
did it.
No
Yeah.
handgun.
So he starts driving. I'm looking at him like, yo, what the fuck? He goes, yo, I can get fucking like $8,000 for this. I'm like, whoa. I go, dude, if you get caught with this, you're fucked. And I'm gonna
I'm an
get fucked.
accessory. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, like,
so
you
I
gotta-
was already
I
a
go, you
felon,
gotta
and I had
call-
a
you gotta-
bulletproof vest.
And that's when Trump was coming into town in 2 days. Like
So
we found this Thursday morning. He was coming like Friday afternoon. He was flying into town.
We found
for
out
the
after
UN.
the fact, but the river was closed. The only personnel
Hold on.
allowed on the river was the Coast Guard.
So
Wow.
And we have our uniform.
I tell him to go home and call the Coast Guard stations. He calls 8 Coast Guard stations, leaves all these messages.
No one even
No one
calls.
even
Nothing.
cares.
I don't give a
I
shit.
can
So
go
he
fuck
goes,
myself.
we work all night. He goes to sleep. A couple hours later, wakes up to his phone's on silent. Wakes up to like 100 and something missed calls
From the
and
Secret
text
Service.
messages. He picks up because it rings right. He's like, "Hello," and then
It was the Secret Service.
Yeah.
It was their shit.
And they were like,
How do they lose it?
it wasn't there. So the guy goes, Mr. Gann? I was like, speaking. He goes, I believe you have government property. I was like, which one are you talking about? He goes, you left a bunch of voicemails at government agencies for a life jacket or something you found? I'm like, no, it was a bulletproof vest. He's like, yeah. Where'd you find that, sir? I'm like, on the voicemails I left, I said. He goes, yeah, well, I'm asking you again. I was like, on the side of Route 7. So they meet me. They said, are you still working on Pier 11?
Wow.
I didn't tell anyone I was working on Pier 11. There was voicemails.
They checked you.
They knew that I was there.
Yeah.
And they said, is your start time still 10 p.m.?
They knew everything about
I
it.
said, yes, sir. He goes, we'll let you get back to sleep. And we'll see you tonight. So we had New York City.
So U.S. Coast Guard comes up on the boats on the pier.
They were pissed.
They get off, and then the Secret Service guy in jogging shorts and a T-shirt with a cell phone comes walking in the other direction.
And New York City.
flashes his badge, and one NYPD officer.
No, it wasn't NYPD officer. It was anti-terrorist task force.
Task force. Yeah.
Homeland.
They were there.
Homeland.
Yeah.
Homeland was
They were
there.
there,
And they're all surrounding me. Where'd you get it from? Now, someone broke into the Coast Guard trucks
In Bayonne, New Jersey.
in Bayonne, New Jersey, and stole the Pelican cases that had all the uniforms in it.
I might have known the person.
Because they wanted the tailgates, the Ford tailgates, because they had the backup camera, like $1,000 each on the street. So they stole all the tailgates, and I guess when they opened up the car, they saw the box and
shit.
jacked those too. Anything that said Coast Guard, they tossed.
Chucked
And
it.
they kept the fucking pieces.
So now,
They recovered all but the one
Yeah.
that came with our stuff.
they said they
All
So
right.
recovered.
when they were questioning him, they're like, "Where's the gun?" We're
I'm like, fuck if I
"Where's
know.
the gun?" So they come over, they start questioning me after him.
Yeah.
Like, "Where's the gun?" I'm like, "Where's the
Insult to
gun?"
injury, the truck that they broke into was a 2000 and something F-150. At the time, it was the exact same model truck I
You
drove.
Oh shit.
And they're like, how'd you get the tailgates unlocked? And then the Bayonne police are interrogating me. I go, first of all, my tailgate's unstealable because I put the hose clamp on it so you can't steal it. How they happen, I have no. Why would I call you if I
Yeah.
stole it?
Yeah.
You fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Plus, I was at work all night. I can prove it.
Oh, yeah, because you twist the tailgate a certain way and it comes,
Comes off, so you put a hose clamp on it.
I never thought
So
of
you
that.
can't steal it.
Yeah.
Mine, all my trucks have it.
Yep.
Because jerk off steal tailgates.
Yeah.
You steal tailgates?
I think you know the reason to prevent that is because
So I steal tailgates. But yeah, they fucked with me for like an hour. They interrogated the fuck out of me.
Wow.
And then the following day, they came and picked me up at my house.
It's a little odd that you would call and report yourself if you committed a crime.
Well, I thought of it like this. Imagine if you're like a private and you just got on this task force and you lost a piece of your gear. You're going to be demoted.
Yeah.
And it's the military demoting isn't like getting fired from like a regular job.
Right.
They fuck you for life.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends were military, and I was like, that's fucked up.
Plus, I said Trump's coming to town. Somebody could have stole this shit, wear it, and pretend they're Coast Guard and
Right.
try to get close.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So we did the
want
right
that
thing.
shit.
Never again, though. I'll
Yeah.
never do the right thing again.
Keep that shit.
Yeah, next time.
A lot of people, there's a lot of people that believe they're going to try to whack him before 2024.
I'm surprised they haven't tried already.
They may have, but
that
they're not
Kennedy
going to.
can't get security.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they denied his
said
security.
Every presidential candidate usually has government, Secret Service, or
You have to
security.
request it. And he requested 6 times or
Yeah.
something like that.
And
There's
they
a
line
reason
up
the
for 'em.
Democrats.
That's
right,
crazy. That's just
hate
like
that dude.
how do people not look at all this stuff? You know what I mean? Like there's the one side versus the other here.
So-
Yeah, how do you not read it and go, yeah, that's normal. That seems legit.
Right.
Yeah, but the people who are saying he's an asshole are saying he's anti-Semite, he's racist, he's
But
anti-vax.
it's all bullshit.
Family doesn't talk to him.
They don't see that because that's all they're being fed, and they're being pumped that all day long on their social media feeds. It's an echo chamber for them.
For sure.
Right.
So you can't blame, like, I look at it from the other side, I'm like, you can't really blame them because that's all the information they have because they refuse to.
Right. Elon
I look
Musk
at both sides.
kind of even that
come
score,
up with
though.
my
For your
own
own
thing.
thing,
Yeah.
Elon Musk buying Twitter. People
It's
have
not Twitter anymore.
Tucker.
X.
That's right. Yeah. But like Tucker has a voice again, you know?
I miss Tucker.
Yeah. Well,
Some people here don't miss Tucker.
He's back.
We're A-Stack. We love
What are you
Tucker.
gonna
here.
do?
We love Tucker.
But
Love him or hate him, right? Love him or hate him. You should have a voice still. That's what this country
And
was
the other
founded
side-
on, you know?
Both sides have a voice.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
As long as both sides
It's when you
have a
start
voice.
censoring
Right,
it's a real
right.
fucking issue.
Listen,
Right.
let them talk. Let them talk because
You choose who you listen to.
they expose themselves all the time, right?
Right.
So that's like long form podcasts. That's probably the best way. All these politicians should do some long form podcasts. Have someone a lot smarter than me and Roger, and maybe you guys are a little bit smarter. You guys can ask them some questions,
Definitely.
and get to really know these guys. You know, everybody goes up there and they have their ad campaigns. They're spitting and stuff like that. You know, just shaking. You know,
They have their
shaking
5
hands,
minutes
kissing
polished up.
babies. Yeah.
Who is the guy that is in trouble right now for stealing campaign funds? Republican guy, I believe. Santos? Is it Santos?
Oh, the one in New York.
yeah. Did
He
you
was
see
like
his,
faking it. He's not even like a.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
but
He
did you
was,
see his podcast on Barstool? The fucker incriminated himself.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not
You're right though.
much.
They just questioned the right questions and then they got him.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, gotcha."
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like they need an impartial guy. That's kind of why I'm a fan of Rogan. I don't think he's either side. I think he's you know
I
what I
think
mean?
I think he has a side.
You do?
I think he does.
Well, it's not.
But he's impartial, though.
Yeah.
But he's impartial.
It
Yes,
doesn't
I'll give
matter
him
what
that.
he
He's
thinks
impartial.
personally.
Right.
off
What do you-
air.
I just out of
When he's
curiosity,
on air,
what do you
he'll
think his
ask the
side
right
is?
I think
questions.
he's Republican.
You do? He
I
can't
do.
stand Trump. He don't like Trump at all.
Just because you stand someone
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're John.
I don't think
I
he's-
agree.
I don't think
I
he's
agree.
Republican at all.
You don't think so?
I think he's a
No.
libertarian.
I think-
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
he's
I can get behind
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rogan, I'm still waiting for a callback.
Yeah,
bud.
he said, I believe his words were, if you find a tusk, I'll have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
We found a piece of tusk. We found a
Oh,
piece
that's
of it,
right. That's where it started,
but
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a full, like, hey, you doing tusk.
Don't
but
justify
Still a
him not
piece.
calling me
Now,
back.
here I got questions about
You
that,
can
right?
shout us
Because
out
you showed me the piece.
Yes.
I think Frankie was
I'll
peeing.
show- yeah, he
I
was-
think Frankie was
had his
peeing on the
dick in
side of
his
it.
Yes.
But I saw a piece. How and with all the trash. Well, first of all, it was the 1940s supposedly, right?
Yep.
American History Museum dumped like basically a rail car full of
50 tons.
discarded bones that were not quality enough to put in a museum. That's how the story goes. Off 6th Ave in the East River, right? So it's been fucking 65 years, right? How the fuck? There must be so much silt on top of that.
Silt.
Plus the
There's
bone's
so
only
much
this
toilet
big.
paper. You guys see the video of me finding it.
How do you find a piece of bone this big?
I thought it was plastic.
right.
I was fucking with it. I had a
Yeah.
knife. I was scraping. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, so the whole thing's on
That was
video.
3
Yeah.
feet inside, like, in the
Yeah,
mud.
I found it in the mud.
He
I
digs
didn't.
and probes and hits something.
That's how you
Now,
do
there was
it.
a guy in
Okay.
2017
Yeah.
who was fishing off of, I want to say Governor's Island. Don't hold me to it.
Yeah.
He cast out. He hooked a mammoth leg bone.
Get out of
The
here.
Parks Department has it in 2014.
Get outta
They
here.
were digging over by, again,
Now-
I don't know the next location. They found a tusk and a bone.
Get out of here.
So I'm
Now,
not the
that's
first
also
to
from,
find it.
That's
Is that-
also from the them dumping it.
Yeah, I'm not the first person to find
So
something.
they dumped it in. So they. John Reeves says 65th and East River Drive. He didn't
Oh, I'm
say-
sorry.
He
Yep,
didn't
yeah.
say 65th Street.
I don't
Yeah.
want to
He
correct
just
you. You're
said
much bigger than I
yeah.
am. I just allowed it.
65th and East River Drive. So, yeah, they could have dumped it where we started looking first and stuff, but this gentleman hit me up on Instagram, and it was one of those, like, requesting, like, I go through them once in a while, and I look at it, and it says, hey, bud, he never said 65th Street, he just said 65th. You should look in this place.
Mm.
And we looked at this other place in Brooklyn area, off Brooklyn,
Mm.
right at the mouth of the East River. It's 65th Street Rail Yard.
So
Now,
uh,
where would you dump a rail yard full of stuff?
Not
At
the
this
rail-
rail yard,
Yeah.
or bring it off the bridge,
Yeah,
or bring it
right.
off
It
the
would
edge
make
and
more
dump
sense
it?
to
Doesn't
dump it
make
off
any
the rail
sense
yard.
where they would dump
100%,
it there.
yeah.
A whole railroad car full.
so have you guys
we
gone
started
back?
searching there.
Yeah,
Because if
we-
there's that much there,
We
there
found
has
a-
to be a ton
We
there,
found
no?
a shin bone.
We found a shin
Of a
bone, we
step
found a step bison jaw bone, and we found a piece of tusk.
Oh.
But here's the problem: it's the summertime months,
Yeah.
and
Boat
our
traffic.
no, not even that. Our boats are borrowed boats from Randy King's Boat Services. Thank you,
Ooh.
Madeline Marine. So
Gentlemen.
he lets us use his boats, and the problem is it's summertime, so there's paying
Busy.
customers.
Yeah.
So I'm at his
Gotcha.
mercy.
Now, if
so-
Now,
Anybody
will you
listening-
go back in
Yes,
the fall?
absolutely.
Yeah.
If anybody listening wants us to go back even faster and find all this shit faster.
Give us a boat.
Let's give us a boat. Get us money to pay for this boat.
Frankie, you got a boat.
What kind of boats do you need?
What kind of boat you got? Let's work this out. You got jet skis
It
too?
really can't be like a fishing boat, that kind of thing.
No, you can do it with a fishing boat, but it's
like a big flat bottom Boston whaler or something like that.
You need like a lobster boat. You need like a work boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll fuck it up.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
I don't want to do that to you.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
So
I believe sitting there, you whoop my ass.
We already have one on our YouTube channel, Dirty Water Boys NJ. We have one episode where we found the tusk bone. It's 17 minutes long. TV quality is beautiful. Along with our podcast, and we have a second episode where we found the shin bone coming out probably this week or next week.
No shit.
Yeah.
No one really wants to see the failures.
Yeah.
That's we have 81 dives in right now. 81 days of diving and 3 divers a day.
Yep.
We have a lot of time on that area.
Listen, you're in the East River, so the moment you find a corpse or human remains, you guys are going completely fucking viral, and it's going to be the most. Yeah.
I don't bring those up.
That's what happened. Oh, you don't bring them up? You leave them down there?
Up?
No.
Bless your heart.
You know what's
They're there for a fucking reason, and it's not my find out who
the
did
most
it.
thing we see in the East River was
True.
city bikes. In that
City
area
bikes?
City bikes everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that.
Everywhere.
Of course.
I thought the homeless throw them in there.
Yeah.
Not the homeless. Get out of here.
You're attached to a tether.
Yeah,
you don't
tethered.
worry about getting wrapped up in all that garbage city bike shit?
No, you have proper hose management.
Yeah.
I'm professional.
That's
But
what, yeah.
you do too. You
I
can
manage
get
my
fouled.
hose pretty well.
Yeah, I can manage it. But you can get fouled. The older style rigs would sink.
Yep.
The newer style floats. So yes, if you're in between piles and piers, you can get fouled.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, open water, you're pretty much safe.
Gotcha.
But it's all the other problem we were having was it's right by an outpour of a shit plant. So the bottom where it's littered with toilet paper.
Oh.
Littered.
I thought, how does toilet paper make it that far? Oh, probably wipes, right? Wipes.
No, toilet paper.
Because I thought it had to go through a whole filtration system and go through
so
the.
did I.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
So did I.
About that.
If you watch the video, you'll see all the toilet
That's
paper.
crazy. My cousin builds those sewage treatment plants, and he says there's tomato plants everywhere because that's the one thing that will pass through your body. If you eat tomato, the seeds pass through your body, you shit them out, they end up in the sewage treatment plant. He said around the edges, it's just nothing but tomato plants.
I bet they're juicy.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
You eat one.
Where can I find you when I was looking for places to film for Discovery Channel?
What do you mean?
We had so much trouble getting permission to go inside shit facilities because
I'll call my
They
cousin.
agreed to us at first,
Yeah.
and then the lawyers got involved. They were
everyone's
Really?
breaking a rule. Someone has a violation. OSHA standards. So you go.
Why do you need to go there?
Because we were filming for a TV show we were on.
Oh,
We were on
okay.
the Discovery
I gotcha.
Channel show
Well-
called Sewer Divers.
Oh, okay. Well, just do what the Jackass guys did. They just broke into one. Remember the guy that died, actually. What was his name? That died in the car crash?
Ryan Dunn?
Ryan Dunn just
Dunn,
jumped
yeah.
in a sewage treatment plant. I think
Yeah,
they
he
just
did.
broke in.
I
Just
think
do
he got
that.
scurvy from that.
Dude, he literally jumped in
Did he?
in his underwear into raw shit, you know,
Yeah.
where it's all mixed up.
Yeah.
I think they just broke into it. Just break into it.
No,
that
I
that
can't-
made TV.
Yeah, but I
film it,
can't
make money
film it
from it,
and
yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Well, how do they get it?
Yeah.
They got permission.
Oh,
They had to have.
maybe.
There's no way they didn't get permission
Maybe.
because a lot of those facilities are government funded.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of good lawyers.
Yep.
So every time we try to get somewhere to film, we would have go there, do a walkthrough, great location. Okay, perfect. We're gonna film here. And as soon as the lawyers would talk to each other, they were like,
Gotcha.
"Nope, sorry, can't film here."
So you actually want to go down to what? See what's on the bottom?
Where we were doing the show, we were filming sewers and sewer work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it now.
Okay.
I mean, because no one's gonna pay
I
me. to do it.
saw
Unless Discovery wants to do
Mike
season
Rowe
2.
did a Dirty
Yeah.
Jobs from one of those. They got something
Yeah.
called the Poo Eater or something.
Mhm.
It was yeah.
He
Like
has
good
Mike
old-
Rowe's number. and
He
it's
was
phone.
talking about how
What I
wipes
call them?
wipes clog literally everything up.
That's why I support the dude
yeah.
wipes because they're made from plant-based fibers
Ah.
and they break down in water instantaneous.
Good to know.
Wow. Look at that.
Good to know.
So if you need to wipe your ass before
Dude
you
wipes
leave,
are where that? Where's
Grab
that?
one,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Freshen up before you drive home.
Yeah.
So you don't go right into the suit, right? You got to start larping first.
LARPing.
Right.
I never LARPed.
Never?
I scuba dove once.
Really? And you go right to that? How does that? How the hell is that even safe?
It's safe. I think I have special issues in my mind. I don't have a fear, like he said about you. I can't wait for the day I'm afraid. Like I'm looking
Of
forward
anything.
to it. Of anything.
Really?
Like I don't. It's like, oh, that's dangerous. I shouldn't do it.
I'll bring my ex-wife up here. You can do it. Jenny, it was a joke. It was a joke. Don't sue me.
Dude, the last time I talked
I'm sure
about
she's listening to
No,
that.
I
it
talked
was
about
a
his
joke.
ex-wife
We
on a
actually
podcast,
get along well. So
and she called me the next day screaming at me.
get out of
I
here.
I never
He didn't say nothing bad
publicly
about it.
talk ill will of her or in front of the kids
Yeah.
ever, not one time.
I did.
He says she's a bitch on the podcast, like, in quick and jest. And we kept moving along, and then she lost her shit.
Man. Now, in all fairness, her argument was strong.
Yeah.
She's like, my kids listen to that.
Yeah.
She's 100% right. Again,
we've had both.
I'm
We've
sorry.
both had moments on our podcast where we've said things, and the girl and the wife heard about it, and we're like, "Fuck, man, let's never do that again." You know.
Do you guys get shit about who your guests are?
Once.
Once.
We don't have a lot of girls on. Let's leave it at that.
All right.
Yeah.
That was our situation.
Let's just leave it at that.
That was ours. We had an opportunity to interview an adult film star. And my wife goes, nope.
We just did a mobile podcast.
I was like, right on.
There was one there where we were
touchy.
at that wanted to come on the podcast. And thank God the social media people that were there working with us to kind of make it happen and do the advertising, they were cool as shit. And they're like, no, you can't go up there. So
it's
cool.
not worth it.
Yeah.
Not worth
the time.
it.
Yeah.
Not the time.
It's silliness.
Yep.
Yeah, but she doesn't say much. I love her to death. And that was her one request.
Yeah, hey, you gotta
She's
respect
like, no,
it.
I was like,
no porn stars?
fair. But I can have male porn stars,
Right.
which is fucked up.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
Well, fucked up. Because she's like, you're not going to try to suck his dick. I'm like, how do you know? What if he's gorgeous? What if he's really fucking
It's
pretty?
very black
What if
down
he
here.
interviews well? How about that?
Yeah, what if he pronunciates all of his
What
vowels
happens in the
properly?
bus stays in the bus, right?
Bang
Yeah.
the casting couch.
That is the casting couch.
So then the rule was no porn stars.
We built a studio in Frankie's house, so we can't have like fucking criminals on and shit like that because it's got to be someone you
somewhat.
gotta be.
Can't go on?
It's got to be people that you're comfortable with. He's got to be comfortable.
I'm
with.
pretty comfortable with
having-
most people in my house. I would imagine.
I would imagine you'd put a hurt
most
on
people I want to talk to. I mean,
I think you put a hurt on him.
yeah, but I mean, most people that you want to have a conversation with. I would, you're not going to be too
not
scared
coming
to
to
have
act
around.
fool.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we did a podcast on the shore. It was Fireside America. He has it at his house.
Oh yeah, I heard about that guy.
Ryan Robbins.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
Jamie did him right? Jamie,
think so,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah. We did one at his. It was at his house.
Yep.
And it was
It's
funny.
like in the backyard, right?
Yeah, in the backyard.
Yeah.
We sit down, and there's people behind the bar. They're really, really nice. The
that's
house is
cool.
really
They
nice.
put on a good podcast.
Yeah, and they're
cool, yeah.
strapped.
All of them strapped.
They're all strapped. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that makes sense.
I think you guys would get along with these
I'm
guys.
strapped.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you be?
I'm always
You
strapped.
stay strapped or get clapped.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm a convicted felon.
It's
I'm
like
not
one
allowed
of
to
the first
stay
He had the
things-
guy from did the John Wick movies on there. He had him on a couple months ago.
what the guy that's training people?
No, he's actually like he wrote them or
okay.
made them or something like that in effect.
How does one write that movie? Kill.
Yeah,
97
yeah,
Russians.
yeah.
Yeah,
Check.
But he had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
One dog.
Trying to get
Check.
him on.
It's
All
true.
right. How do you guys go about getting your guests? Well, it
Reach
can't be
out.
hard for you.
We're
Yeah.
one-stop shop and we do it all.
So do we would drop
just
for our
reach
own
out.
guys.
Yeah, we just reach out. Myself or Roger. We got a pretty good network out there, kind of.
All right.
I feel like we could be honest, we could do a better job of reaching out to more people. I'm not one to like hit people up, and I think I could. I probably should do that
gotta
more.
push Frankie a little
He
bit.
does.
Yeah, especially just like
Yeah, things
UFC
easier.
fighters, you know.
Yeah, I
like,
would. I'll tell you another thing too is I hate Zoom. I hate doing Zoom interviews because
Yeah,
they
so do
just
we.
suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the chemistry's off, and I want to have these guys in my couch, you know,
That's
or
true.
in the room if we could. I think it would just be much better, much more natural. But we still gotta do what you gotta do.
That's true.
We just got set up to do the Zoom, and I think you lose the lore. You lose
Yeah.
the vibe.
1,000%.
You
I don't wanna
can't
do it.
cut
It's
no
not as
one
personal.
off. If you
Yep.
cut someone off on accident, it's all.
You got to read body language.
Yeah,
You got to
delay.
know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
You got to sweat your balls off because the air doesn't come through.
Yeah.
You don't get that real
Yeah.
sweaty ball vibe, you know?
I just noticed his.
That's okay. Now
cheeks
I know why we
rosy.
got the
I
dude
know.
wipes.
It's fucking hot here.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Now I-
roasting.
Yeah.
Now I know why we got the dude wipes.
Now it makes sense. The tuxedos make sense now. It's kind of fucked up.
I think
Yeah.
Frankie and I, for a while, especially in the beginning, we felt like we were maybe bothering people because in the beginning you got nobody or you have no followers, no nothing. I think it's a little better now because we've been at it 4 years, so it's a little easier. But someone said to us recently, "Don't look at it like that. Look at like you're doing them a favor and
Yeah.
to
you're
come on and
you're bringing value to
promote
you know?
whatever it is that they're
That's
doing."
exactly
You know
what I
what I mean?
said
So,
when I
yeah.
started reaching out
Yep.
to people.
Yep.
I didn't feel bad about
Yeah.
it. I wake up in the morning at 6, 7 a.m. If I'm working, I wake up earlier, and for 1 hour, I send out cold messages.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
seeing what happens.
We
seeing
keep
what
hearing
happens.
that. We keep hearing that.
I'm like,
yeah.
hey guys, you
We'll
want to hang
comment
out?
on everyone's
Yeah.
Instagram pages. Hey, come
Especially
on the podcast.
with sponsors too.
Yep.
Who was telling us they send out like 5 every morning?
Jerry.
Yep.
No, G.
Gerard. Yeah.
It does.
Gerard,
It
Gerard.
works. It
Yep.
works. I reached
like
out
every
to
day I send
Henderson
out 5.
Wetsuit, and they pretty much told me to go fuck myself.
Yep.
They were like, "We'll see what happens. We'll see where this goes."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, thanks." So then I reached out to Pressure Junkies. Reached out to me,
Really?
and they're like, "We love what you're doing. If you need any support, let us know." I'm like, "I would love some wetsuits." and Trevor, great guy, sent us out like fucking 5 G's with the wetsuits.
Wow.
Get out of
That's
here.
great.
And then we started doing more theatrical shit with other
My
divers.
size, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make 5 fucking X wetsuits. Get over yourself.
Holy shit.
So-
it's only
Do
a
you-
little bit more material.
Do you
Yeah.
go down ever? Do you
He
ever?
dove.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
He dove once professionally with us on Pier
11?
11, yeah. And then once when Diesel Brothers were out with us.
Right on.
I had to go out with that. You know.
It's a fucking
Yeah,
Diesel
yeah,
Brothers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so I'll only wear pressure junkies now.
Yeah.
Other wetsuits now that we've got some traction.
All right, can we talk about? I'm a fan of Diesel Junkie or Diesel Brothers, by the way.
You want to call Diesel Dave?
Listen, I love those guys, but did he sink his own boat? Yes or no?
No, and he didn't tell me that. I did ask him.
That beautiful fucking boat that was on like its maiden voyage.
Yeah, there was no
that was
plug
like
in
a
it,
$500,000
was there? I heard there was no
boat,
plug.
and it just mysteriously sank. And he happens to do recoveries. A little weird, wasn't it?
It was a little
I
strange.
love the guy, but
I the only question I had for him was about helicopters.
yeah,
I was like,
that's his new thing.
Do you have a license?
Yep.
He's like,
Of course he
well,
does,
if you fly low enough, you don't need one.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know how true that
Wow.
is. I don't know. All I know
Wait, you
is
don't need a
I
license to fly a
course
helicopter?
you do.
100% you do.
Oh,
not at
100%.
certain altitudes.
Really?
If you own the land. If you like own a huge ranch in Texas or wherever,
But he
and
doesn't.
it's your helicopter, your land, there's no height.
I shouldn't say he doesn't. He
You just
probably
gotta
does.
stay within your
You have to
your
stay
property.
in your property and to a certain height, yes. Like, for
I'm saying, you
example,
stay
Steve
low.
Manella owns a helicopter. He probably doesn't need a pilot license because he has a huge ranch and he
Hey,
hunts with
Matt.
wild pigs and shit.
Matt, you hear me?
You don't need
But
your-
another guy, Diesel brother, that owns the helicopters, he started searching for bodies. That seems to be the thing now. Like
Well,
people
no.
doing it.
It's, Diesel Dave and Doug Bishop are
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
No. No, I'm not talking about underwater. Remember the ranch he went to where the kid like hiked from where
With
his
girlfriend,
cows are
yeah.
to like his house,
I
which was
haven't
like
watched a
5
lot of
miles,
this
and he'd been missing for like 6 months. And Diesel Dave, I guess is his name, took his helicopter, flew out there, and they did a grid pattern search
Did they find
looking
him?
for this body. They never found him, but
There's content for them.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
content. Yeah.
everything's
Yes,
content.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, can you see if you need a license to fly a helicopter low? Thanks, bud. I need to know now.
I'm working on it.
I'm gonna get a helicopter, put it in my driveway, just go up,
Yeah.
down, up, down.
It's got to be probably the size of it too. I think.
He's like an Apache or some shit.
No, he's in like
Yeah.
those Blackhawks.
Black
But
Hawk.
helicopters scare the shit out of me, though.
That's
Too
what you're
much-
afraid of.
Ever
I
since
thought you weren't
Kobe.
afraid of nothing.
Ever since
No,
Kobe.
no.
Well,
I mean, I'm
they
not.
be-
I never said. You said you're
He
not
said.
afraid of nothing. He said I was scared on the motorcycle. I'm scared of a lot of shit.
What are you the most scared of?
Spiders.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not
Carnies.
telling you, bro.
Circus
I'm
stuff.
not telling you.
Small ham, small cabbage.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm real scared of $100 bills.
You better not throw them at me. What made you guys get into having a podcast?
It's a funny story. You want to tell it?
Yeah.
We'll definitely tell it differently, but I'll let Frankie tell it.
One day I was driving down the road, and I seen him. He passed me in his truck, and I think he was wearing a scarf on his neck and shit.
The Red Baron?
yeah.
Had a bow tie on. Yeah.
And so I call him. I was like, and 'cause I just started listening to Joe Rogan. Probably like, I don't know.
6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, little bit ago, right? Like 6, 8 years ago, started to get into it, and I'm, everyone. Once you started doing podcasts, everyone's like, "Oh, do a podcast, do a podcast." Here's Joe on it, telling everyone to do a podcast. So I hit up Roger. I'm like, "Bro, hey, you ever think about doing a podcast?" And we're friends at the time. He's like, "Nah, not really." I'm like,
No.
"All right, man, all right." And then like we start just bullshitting about something else, and then we never talked about it. And then my buddy Chris Ligori, guy I train with, good friend of mine, good friend of ours, hit him up. Was like, "Yo."
Like a year later.
A year later,
Yeah.
Jesus,
maybe
a
more.
lot of downtime, guys.
I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
"Yo, you should do a podcast with Frankie." And then that's when the bell went off
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Roger. And you got to hit
Well,
Roger
he was
over the
a-
head with some shit to get him to get it.
I
You know?
get it. That makes sense.
The coolest guy I know fucking calls me up and literally said, I was probably nervous, honestly, to take the call. He's like, "Yo, what's up, bro? I think he said, I could have it wrong. Have you meaning me, ever thought about doing a podcast?" I thought he meant just me. I'm like, no,
just period.
no.
Just
I didn't know he meant with
period.
him. I would have been, bro,
General.
do a
Period.
podcast with my hero? I'm fucking
Period.
in.
If he was like, if he
Yeah.
was saying, like, I was saying, "Hey, you ever think about doing a podcast?" Hey, yeah, I don't know, man. Well, if you thought about it, let's fucking do one together. That could have been
We
a
never got-
segue.
we never
that
got
could have
that
been the
far.
That could have been the conversation.
I think I just said, yeah, no, not really. He's like, oh, okay.
He's
And
like, no, it wasn't
beautiful,
like that. He's
beautiful
like,
day
nah.
out, you know?
Nah.
Drop the ball. You could be on year 5 right now.
And then like
Where
a
you
year
go?
later, because I think Ligori suggested it to Frankie, if I have the story right. Like, you guys are like the odd couple. Roger comes from like reality TV, kind of talks about crazy shit sometimes, posts crazy shit. You come from, you're a fighter, you got all kinds of UFC buddies. You've been doing it forever. Like, you guys are like the odd couple, might make for an interesting pairing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys pair up with comedians and shit like that. So it's like, you know, we come from different backgrounds. But it wasn't until a year later that Chris tied it together and was like, you and Frankie should do. I was like, I'm in, bro. I didn't know that. I didn't know I was an option for that. I didn't think I was cool enough, you know?
I thought you were just running an idea by
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I need someone to put the high, sound stuff in
Yeah.
the studio.
Makes
I
sense.
mean, I couldn't reach that shit.
They make ladders.
He needs somebody to make him look smart, so he called me.
That's true.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So do you have Rogan's number? Can you give me-
No,
right.
no. Honestly, he changes his number like every
Yeah, he does.
like couple.
That's like
couple
Mike Rowe,
months.
apparently.
Yeah.
Mike Rowe does the same
That's
thing.
a great guy. I'd love to get him on.
So I got his number from a buddy of mine who runs Deep Sea Magazine. He's like, yo, here's Mike's number. Give him a shout. See if you can get
well,
him
wait,
on.
let me ask you something, because I know Frankie fucking hates that, and I hate that. When people, remember Jamie went on a rant? Did he ask Mike if he could give him your number?
Nope.
Yeah. So,
But he figured we both worked on Discovery. Plus, Mike did a lot of promotional stuff for our show.
right.
So I kind of felt like I could text him.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to call him and bombard him.
What
Call,
was,
call,
how was the
call,
reception? How was the reception?
No response. No response. But I don't even know it's his number.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
who the fuck
sure.
knows? Maybe the guy's
Right.
jerking me off, giving me the wrong number.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we had Joey Diaz within 5 minutes of our podcast. Never heard from him again, but I shouldn't say
No,
never heard.
He
from
also
him.
lives locally, too.
Yeah.
Frankie's
he
talked to
does,
him.
he
He's
does.
cool.
Yeah. No, we're in touch. I mean, he's trying. He's trying.
We love Joey. We love Joey.
Yeah.
The book
Hey,
tour
listen.
takes it out of you. I get it.
He calls me tomorrow and says, "Yo, I'm coming. Well, we're gonna have."
I'll take the day off work. I'll be there.
Have you ever seen him stand up?
yeah,
No, I haven't
yeah.
seen him stand up now.
Amazing.
I mean, Uncle Vinny's. I saw him in Point Pleasant. That's when he was back working. I don't think he's doing it anymore.
Yeah, I saw him before COVID.
Before COVID.
Yeah, in
okay,
2019.
yeah. He's a monster.
You guys get
He was on
Dice
stage,
Clay on.
His
Dice Clay.
his belly's hanging
Yeah,
out.
right. Yeah, I think he does. He
He's
does
available.
have
He's walking around the city.
Yep.
You can get him.
Yeah, definitely.
Clay,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure we could. He was the man back in the day, bro.
Still
He
is.
still
Hickory
hell
dickory
yeah.
doc.
Bro, Enzo. Did you guys have Enzo on?
Yeah.
He did, yep.
Bro,
He's
he
been
is.
hanging out with him a little bit.
He's
He's
shot out of cannon.
He's built different, bro.
He's
Built
Andrew Dice
different.
Clay, dude.
Yes.
He's Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes.
He plays. We did that comedy
animated.
day. We were judges for that comedy show at Stress Factory,
Okay.
and he did a set. Everyone did a 5-minute set. He's never done it before. Never done comedy before. You almost didn't know what to laugh. It was like, who's that one?
It's almost
Andy
like-
Kaufman.
yes.
Andy Kaufman. Like,
Right.
you don't know how to take it. But he didn't. He spit for 5 minutes. Didn't misspell one word or misspeak one word. Didn't. Yeah, dude, it was impressive.
Yeah, he's quick.
We did.
Yeah.
We were on his
Yeah.
podcast, and the words and the topics and the speed which he covered them.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to ask me questions.
He's insanely talented, but in a very niche way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
He
a
was,
Jersey boy.
We
Yeah.
had fun with him here.
Yeah.
He came here.
Jersey
We had a
guy.
good
Oh, yeah.
time.
He is a good time. He's
Yeah,
good
he
energy.
Definitely is.
But he shot out of a
He
cannon.
keeps coming down the shore and hitting us up, but he's got no kids, you know. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
I'm with the kids, bro.
He wanted to go on the river the one day with a boat. He said, "Go on the river."
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's fucking bath time.
Yeah.
I have 29 children. It takes
Yeah.
And it
it's
was
a
the
5-hour
night, the
thing.
night before, he tells you.
Yeah, the night before. He's like, want to go on a boat?
Yeah.
I'm like, where are you going? He's like, you're on your boat. I'm like, I can't make that.
I need a week's notice, at least.
When he was on our podcast, he had a girlfriend. And he's like, can't really do shit. I'd love to come down the show, but I got the girl. I'll text you if I come down. That weekend, he's like, boys, I'm single. I'll be down.
On the way.
Yeah.
So you did the pod. You have 4 years in?
4.
Years in?
Yep.
Well, almost 4. This guy likes aging us, but yeah,
I hear
3
you,
and a
but
half.
it sounds better at 4.
I think
Say
4,
5.
right?
We started what, January?
December.
December.
Yeah, so close to it.
Yeah, we'll creep.
How
on.
many
Pretty close.
episodes you guys got in the belt?
175, maybe?
Yes.
Wow.
5. Yeah.
This is number 11.
Yeah.
Ooh, big things.
Yeah,
There you
big
go.
things.
But you do typically one a week or?
One a week.
We've been trying to, yeah.
Yeah.
We took a week off last week, but now we booked up for the month of August. So now we have
Next
one a
week,
week.
I have some Broadway star coming in. She's friends
Nice.
with my wife.
Okay.
Ooh, right
I
on.
was actually saw her last night. I asked her.
Just ask
She was,
Hey, look at the
she was,
podcast?
she was Miss California in like 2015 or something.
Can the tramp meet her?
Sure.
Maybe. She just got married, so.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
hey.
good.
Hasn't stopped them before.
Yeah,
ladies.
hasn't stopped anything before.
Who we got after that?
The guy from the internet. Have you seen that guy on Instagram?
Have you heard the news? The guy from Canada?
You've never
guys would love
have you
this
heard the
guy.
news?
Oh.
He tells you all like the major shit that's going on that you can't hear anywhere.
Really?
Well, you hear it other
I've probably
places,
seen
but-
him before then. I
He
think.
talks about all the real fucked up shit happening that one particular day.
like oil spills and tank
Train derailments. The government did this,
right.
and then he goes, "Nah, Kim Kardashian."
he ends it with like a
if I
joke,
saw him,
yeah.
I'd probably seen him.
So he's come out in the end of August,
Okay.
and he's doing a meet and greet at the VFW. Believe it or not,
Get out of here.
Apparently, he has like a huge
New York following, huge
That's
New York
awesome.
following.
That's awesome.
Nah.
So he's coming out. We're pretty excited about that. We're
That's
trying to
cool.
get the what's Nick's last name?
Oh, Nick Turturro.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the comedian,
I've
yeah.
been on his podcast before.
So my
He's
father-in-law
awesome, man.
met
He's
him
awesome.
at the beach
Yep.
recently and took a photo together. And Nick gave him his cell phone and said, "Have Don call me. I'll come on his podcast."
He would. He's a super
Yeah, well, I
good
called
dude.
him 3
Yeah,
times.
well,
Get out of
yeah,
here twice.
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
Another Joey Diaz
Wow.
situation.
It's-
Nothing.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
and it's like, at least say no.
Yeah.
That's Brucey. Brucey
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
You know what it
Shoot
is?
that popcorn.
Because you guys are new. You guys blow up, you get big, these guys will be calling you, and then you go, no, we got that. We got no time for it.
I'm a
you know
little
what I mean?
busy at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, we
You
started.
always remember who took care of you, you know what I mean?
What, 42 days ago. I think 42 days we're in now, like 45 days.
Yep.
We have over 5,000 subscribers.
That's phenomenal, dude.
I was
Yeah.
really
Good.
happy with
That's
that,
good,
that
bro.
growth.
That's good.
And like our videos have like 10,000,
On
7,000.
YouTube?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's,
YouTube.
that's amazing, man.
That's
you guys are
actually
killing it.
really good, man.
We
We
started Instagram. I started my Instagram page
Did they-
January 1st, and I went from like 0 followers to like 15,000 in 2 days, and then 35,000.
We had
Now I'm up
Wow.
to 60.
We had a TV show on Discovery, and our numbers climbed.
Yeah.
But as soon as Rogan said "Dirty Water Don,"
That's what I was gonna say,
said my
Rogan.
name,
Yeah, yeah.
I jumped like 60,000.
Yeah, I was going to say
followers.
Rogan
Yeah,
had to
done
help
that
you
too.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We went from no, I think it was like.
Now, if you guys
30,000.
follow us, maybe we'll get a couple more.
Well, you guys too is a very like specialty kind
Yeah.
of thing, and if that's like what you focus on, it seems to like get a lot of followers. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna start doing.
It's intriguing.
Plus, it's a grandiose story.
Yeah.
We're gonna start
And the
doing
museum saying they still
tours
haven't done it.
on the river.
Yeah.
So for a small fee,
Oh, tours on a river. Oh,
I will
yeah.
bring you to the bottom of this river,
Mm,
where usually the men that go there are dead. Now you're alive.
Oh,
I
son.
like that.
So you go down the
It's
river,
a
tell
crazy
your friends,
feeling having the helmet on and like
and
getting in the
going
water
80
and, like,
feet to the bottom of this
As
river.
soon as
Wait
your
a
water
minute,
goes
wait.
past your
I
screen,
thought you
you're
just
like,
meant out in a
"Holy
boat.
shit."
Maybe
Dude,
you
that's-
jumped over the side
No,
of
no,
the.
no, I'll put a helmet on you.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
How the
Yeah.
fuck? What's the insurance got to be on that deal?
It's no liability. You sign a waiver.
Okay.
if
All
I
right.
can get people can get dumbasses on a fucking
Yeah.
sub.
If Joe Rogan can get people to eat donkey
Hey, if
dick
Diesel
on-
Dave
Yeah.
can fly around in
Yeah.
helicopters with no
Yeah,
license,
then we
you
can
can do
this.
that. Yeah.
Well, Diesel
absolutely.
Dave jumped in the river.
Did he?
Yeah, Dave and both Daves jumped
all
in.
crew.
But
They're
they just
lawyers and everything.
sign off
Sign-
on it,
they
right?
sign the waiver, yeah.
That's cool. I think he's actually certified though. He's dove before, right? I've seen him.
Well,
dive
there's
before.
really no scuba police.
Yeah, true. That is true. Yeah.
We did
Well,
get
there
we
is
did
a-
get stopped by the NYPD.
Did you?
And we had at the Coast Guard. We held there for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Get out of here.
What, while you're filming?
Yeah, that's the second day with the Diesel brothers.
we were in
Uh-huh.
between a helicopter pad and the Staten Island ferry slip.
Mm.
I mean, argumentatively, I don't think we were within 100
Our
yards.
common sense said we shouldn't have been there, but there's no signs or
no
nothing.
signs.
No mooring. No
we were
entry.
fine. We were there for 9 fucking hours.
Get out of here.
No problem.
We were literally cleaning up, and
We
then
were-
they showed up. And
They
then
showed up
They
and
asked
they
what we're
detained
doing.
us for 2 hours.
They asked what we're doing.
Just on your boat.
Yeah, we told them, we're just hanging out doing recreational filming. They leave. 10 minutes later, we're just about to pull anchors. They come back and they tell us we can't leave.
Can't
The
go
Coast Guard
anywhere.
Comes.
Now you can't leave.
Yeah,
Now you can't
now
leave.
you
Yeah.
can't leave.
So we said, oh, you know who else we tried to get on? Be a Man. The Be a Man
Oh,
guy
Be a
from
Man.
Boston
Yeah, yeah.
Come
said
on.
he'd come down and be on.
You know who he is?
I don't.
And
He's
then
like,
radio
he's
silence.
a big dude. He's like,
He's big
If your
guy.
wife tells you to clean the kitchen, tell her no and be a man.
Yeah, be a
Yeah,
man.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
he
yes.
said he got
Yeah,
back.
he's
to
got a
us.
heavy Boston accent.
Yep.
I know
Yeah.
He
exactly.
said he
what
was
you
going to come on,
Yep.
and then we haven't heard back.
mean. Yeah. Well, listen.
Scheduling.
Keep plugging away.
It
All right,
happens.
Gad,
Yeah.
what's the helicopter information?
All right, so it was a little bit tricky to find, but basically the FAA regulates what can be flown with what licenses, and there's one category, 103 ultralight, where you can fly basically anything
Correct.
without a
Correct.
license.
Wow.
I know that
No.
because the little town I grew up in, there
Maine.
was there was only 800 people in the town. There was two.
You banged them all.
Two people. I was called Cherryfield, and I had to leave because there was no cherries left. It's true, but anyway,
Tramp.
there was 2 people in the town that flew ultralights around the town all the time, and I would say to my dad, "What?" My dad knew him, and he was like, "Yeah, there's no license required." I remember that from being a kid. He's like, there's no, you could get one of those and fly one of those if
Like
you want it.
Randy Quaid.
So you
made-
don't need a license for an
Wait,
ultralight.
it could be anywhere around the town.
Anywhere you can fly it, but it has a very, I mean, I think
It
it's probably
can't
got
go
like
high.
a 50 mile.
Like crop
can't go high,
dusters.
yeah.
Okay.
It can't be no wind. It has to be like no.
Like
you
Randy
know,
Quaid,
they
Independence
weigh.
Day.
They weigh
I'll
like
pilot.
they weigh like a couple 100 pounds. They got a little, lawnmower motor on them. But
From Harbor Freight.
Yeah, exactly.
A little Predator motor.
but these two people flew them everywhere. And then what are those chutes with the backpack?
Fucking awesome. is
Yeah,
what they're
yeah.
called.
My buddy that back talking about stunt riding. I had a buddy that I knew that was from Virginia, but I used to ride with Dustin. Was his name Dustin Abgar? Dude was crazy. Used to go They used to ship in a shipping container their bikes over to Greece every year.
That's awesome.
Green Mountain Outlaws, great stunt team, great dudes. They would ship their bikes over there every year and do a stunt show in Greece. Well, anyway, he moved away to Texas. He became a bike mechanic, owned his own shop. Well, he got into that shit, and Chris was like, yo, check out Dustin. Check out the shit he's doing.
Doing like flips with it and shit.
He died doing that.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Recently.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe you want to end this podcast
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a fucking happy story.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Why don't you tell us your plugs? What's your podcast? What's your Instagrams? What's your handles?
Our podcast is Champ and the Tramp. You
Champ
can
and a Tramp.
basically find it on any podcast format. We video ours just like you guys do, so you can see it on YouTube as well if you
Rumble,
want.
Spotify.
Rumble. Just Rumble. Find us on Rumble.
Why not Spotify?
You can find us.
Spotify pretty good too, actually. This
Yeah.
guy don't know. You don't know our metrics.
We're trying to push Rumble. We're trying to push Rumble.
I'm not a big fan of Spotify either.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Spotify, I learned
YouTube
recently.
sucks though, man.
Yeah.
Come
Oh,
on.
I love YouTube.
Dude, they restrict the
They
hell out of
restrict
people,
them.
bro.
Just because you said that because of Trump they took your e-cigarette away from you, this will probably get shadow banned.
Probably.
Dude, we got shadow banned for the dumbest shit.
It's always the dumbest shit.
The dumbest shit. We had someone that could tell us if we were shadow banned,
Mm.
and like every other week, yep,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
I think we used to care a lot. We're kind of like, you know what? If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. So we
That's
kind of don't care anymore.
Nah, you just stick to your, just be who you are. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
but also be reasonable.
Yeah. We don't be an idiot.
But you
know?
hashtagged Easter during Easter,
Mm.
shadow banned.
Why?
I have no idea.
They don't want Christians in this
I
world.
guess not.
No.
It was one of the fucking key fucking words.
Really?
You shadow banned, yeah, during Easter.
Isn't that crazy?
Don't say Easter.
You could say buddy fucker.
Yeah.
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 That's they're
Didn't see it
incentivized
coming.
and crazy.
Didn't see it coming.
But girls can literally show the inside of their asshole and go viral overnight. It's crazy.
Where are you getting
The
your
world.
internet from?
Bro, you never seen all these girls
You got Cardi
twerking
B, you got
on
Cardi B's.
You literally
Yeah.
girls can do just about, you can plug your OnlyFans on there. You can do damn near anything you want if you have a piece of dental floss over your private parts, and that's fine. But you talk about anything political in your band, it's crazy.
Interesting
Well,
concept.
try that in a small town.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys coming on. Fantastic guests, fantastic human beings.
Am I also a fantastic guest? All right, I'll go fuck myself.
Yeah.
You're not a guest.
I'm always a guest in
There
my
you
own
go.
house.
You guys
you
gotta gotta come on our podcast now.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
You tell us the date, we'll be there.
All right.
Absolutely.
No, fuck them. I'm giving 3 different dates.
Oh, so I'm 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Hey, it was him all the time, by the way, wasn't
I
it?
can't make no. One day you had to work.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was you.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
He kept saying, I'm
Just trying
down,
to-
I'm down, I'm
I was
down.
trying to blame it
I
on
did.
Or
Frankie.
just,
come
I'm
on.
coming on no matter what because just to
Yeah.
say the fact that, hey, yo, last week I was at Frankie Edgar's house.
I showed up.
No
Joey
big
Diaz
deal.
did No big deal.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well,
No,
thank
we'll
you
make it
guys.
happen.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you,
Absolutely,
guys.
guys. Good times.
Welcome.
Well, no.
you-
I'll go
you
fuck
set us
myself.
off. You
I'll
set
go
us off.
fuck myself.
This is your place. Come on.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Dive In Deep with Dirty Water Boys.
Boom.